Hello, my name is Amanda and welcome to our DIY mini book chains, our teen take and make for November. In this video, I'm going to show you two different ways to make your book keychain. The first one is the more simple version where we just use your faux leather and paper and glue, and you glue it all together to create a single book. And the other version, we will be doing the open style, so you can open the book and look at the pages inside. Let's get started. Your kit will have everything that you need inside. However, you are going to need a few things from home. A pair of scissors, a waterproof pen, a ruler is handy, and you may even want some black tea that you will see what I mean for later, along with a paintbrush. First up, go ahead and grab your faux leather. Mine is already cut into a strip because I use it to make my other one. And you're gonna want to cut out the shape of your book. Now you can do this a couple of different ways. You can just cut off a piece and see if that's the shape that you want. Or you can grab your ruler and you can measure out what you would like your book size to be. Could be 3 inches by 2 inches, it could be 2 inches by 1 inch, it could be whatever really you want your book to look like. From here, I've flipped my faux leather over and measured out, and now I am going to cut out my book shape. Once it's cut out, I am going to fold it over just like it would look when it's your book, just to see if this is the right size that I want, or if I want to trim more, or if I need to cut it a new piece. But I'm pretty happy with this one, so we're gonna go with it. And because I'm pretty happy with it, our next step is going to be putting the hole for our jump ring for the keychain portion. So you're gonna take your needle that you got, and we're gonna find the crease of the book and the edge, and we're gonna put it just under the edge, just to the right of the crease. Really, you could put it anywhere you want. I just found this was the best spot personally. Let me get up close here. I'm just gonna put the needle through a couple of times, and I'll show you up close what that looks like. Our next step is to take one of the jump rings. I am using this one. You're gonna have two different types. I'm using the thinner type because it's just a little easier to work with, but you can choose whichever one you want. We're gonna very carefully open it up. So it might be kind of hard to see, but it is opened just a little bit. And you're gonna slide it through that hole that you just created with your needle. And then once through, you have a choice. You can leave it just like that, or you can add your keychain to it. I found that the keychain didn't really interfere with making the rest of the book, so I just went ahead and added it. If you are using the thicker jump ring, you may need a pair of pliers to help you close the jump ring. Well, heck. Watching me struggle with this one makes me wonder if I should have used a pair of pliers too. There we go. Once it's set, you can just kind of loop it back behind. And you're good to go. The next step in your bookmaking process is paper. So you're gonna want to cut out paper that's gonna be just slightly smaller than your book shape is. I think the easiest way to do this is really just to cut the paper and measure it with inside of the book. You could also use a ruler to do this too. It's totally up to you though. You can also use as much or as little paper as you want depending on the size of the book you want to create. All right, once you have the amount of paper that you would like for your book and it's all measured up, you're gonna wanna make it nice and neat and tidy. I always like to double check it. And then you have a couple of options. If you want to create the first book I showed you where the whole book is closed, what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue and you're just going to glue page on top of page on top of page together. And once your pile is all neat and tidy, then you'll glue it inside of your book. A word of caution here, just make sure you don't use too much glue so the whole book doesn't look gluey. Now for some new options. If you want to give an old look feel to your pages, take some black tea that you've steeped in water for at least 5 minutes. I used this eggnog tea because it's egg-tastic, but it's also a mix of green and black, so I will tell you, my pages didn't turn out very great. But really all you're going to do is you're just going to take a paintbrush and you're going to kind of paint your little pages, and then you're going to let them dry. Another option you can do, especially if you're making your book have the open look, is to write down quotes or sayings or whatever you like on the pages inside of your book. I just wrote down one little quote here and I added it to the second page. Now is time for gluing our page. You're going to make sure everything is super neat and your pages are all lined up. And then you're just going to put your glue along one side and stick it in the center of your spine. I'm going to hold mine there for a few seconds. And then I'm going to take my book and I'm going to close it together. I'm going to rub that spine. I'm going to make sure it's nice and tight. And I'm going to put something a little heavier over the top of it. While that is drying, I'm also going to create a title for my book. This is totally optional too, but I think it kind of adds something fun. I just wrote the word quotes, and then we can glue this to the front of our little mini book. I would recommend giving your book at least 24 hours to dry before using it as a keychain. But as you can see here, it's starting to dry up pretty nicely and is looking like a cute little mini book. Thanks so much for joining me today on our Teen November Take and Make. We hope you enjoy making your books and have a great rest of your November. Bye!